Okay, so here we go. Here's what I want you to do to monitor your billing department. Now, ideally, you're tracking statistics and whatnot, but if you're not, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start paying attention. I want you to get your accounts receivable report, and I want you to start paying attention to the 60-day AR. Okay, so normally on an accounts receivable report, you'll see current to 30, 30 to 60, or 60 to 90, and then potentially 90 to 120, and then 120 plus, right? So I want you to pay attention to 60, and here's why. Current to 30 is really too early, right? Let's say it submit the claims, it takes a few days, submit the claims and takes a couple weeks for it to get back, whatever. 30 days is really a little too soon, right? But 60 on your group health insurance carriers, right? This is not quite going to work for possibly some of your other like auto insurance and whatnot, especially if you're waiting until the end to bill. So if you can filter those out, do that. But 60 to 90 is the perfect place to see what's falling through the cracks, right? So by 60 to 90 days, if a claim hasn't been paid, there should be some activity happening on it, right? Whether it's been appealed or resubmitted or whatever, there should be some activity. If you have claims sitting in 60 to 90, and especially if there's a lot of them, if you see a pretty high, relatively speaking, 60 to 90, you have a problem, right? You either have somebody who's just simply not doing it, or you potentially have an overwhelm situation occurring in your billing department, lack of organization, whatever. But that's like, it's not like an end all. It's just something to narrow in on and to start asking more questions, right? So if you get your accounts receivable report, if you can get a detailed accounts receivable report and actually look at what's sitting in that 60, and then that's when you can start like asking questions. Okay, what's happening with this claim? What's happening with this claim? And you can start to look in that little window and see, okay, what is falling through the cracks? What are we missing and why, right? Why are these claims denied? Are we having a bunch that have to be appealed? Like, what's going on in this window, right? Above 60, sometimes it's okay. You can look at that 90 to 120 window is fine. But the problem is that a lot of software doesn't do that 90 to 120 window. It's either 90 plus, which will give you 90 all the way back to when you started using the software, or 120 plus is like all the way back to you started using the software, and that's just not, it's too broad, right? Unless you've been like absolutely meticulous with your data entry and whatnot, it's just too broad, right? Like you don't really, what's past is past. If something's 5 years old, it's 5 years old. It should be cleaned up and gotten out of there, but a lot of times when I've gone into help offices, that's not the case. They really haven't had a chance to get back in there and clean up all that old stuff. So 60 to 90 is a really, really good window. If you have, 30 to 60 is a good window. If you are able to get 60 to 90, that's also a good window, because now even more time has passed and it's like, okay, what's here? Why is there stuff here, right? But if you can't get, if it's 90 plus, then just do that 30 to 60 and just start looking. It's not really something that you're going to be like, just freak out because there's what seems like a high number in there. It's just something that gives you can kind of get a little more focused, and you can really narrow in on it and actually start to investigate and find out what's going on and isolate different areas where you could possibly help your billing department do better or see what's going on. So that's my tip for today, and feel free to check out the other videos on the website or send me a message if you need a consultation. I'm happy to do that for you.